How much is my otaku collection actually worth? Hey guys, it's Ren. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I've had this request for quite some time from a lot of my YouTube subscribers, as well as family and friends outside my YouTube channel who've asked me the question, Ren, what is the actual monetary value of your otaku merchandise? Including your clothing, character goods, posters, comic head items, figurines, etc. And while I'm not a huge fan when it comes to discussing money about hobbies, because everybody's budget is different and what you choose to spend in your own hobby is your decision, I do realize that this can be a very good educational experience, and I thought this would be sort of fun to discuss the actual value of all the merchandise I've put into this. Now, I'm an extremist when it comes to collecting, so I might not be the best example when it comes to comparing what your budget can be and how much this stuff actually costs. I go to great lengths, usually above and beyond, to buy items that I actually want. And over the 5 to 6 years I've been collecting, I've learned from a lot of my mistakes as to where to shop, how to get the best deals, etc. It just comes with time. Now, I don't have perfect methods. There's probably way better methods out there that I'm still always learning about. But I think this is a nice educational video to kind of, just for fun, talk about, hey, how much does this guy actually spend on his hobby? And what's the best way to actually get this merchandise? That's what my channel mainly focuses on. Not only just about Japan, Akihabara, but also just otaku collecting as a whole. Not just anime focused and not just figurine focused, but I try to provide a wide variety and range of topics. And when I was doing some browsing on YouTube with some recommended videos, I've checked out some other individuals' otaku channels, which have unboxings, room tours, vlogs, etc. But none of the videos actually go into the actual monetary value of their entire collection. They'll talk about, money on how much they spent on a figurine, for example, or they might talk a little bit about how much they've spent on their hobby, but not like a set number to say, this is what I've put into this. So I thought this would be a cool educational video and also just something fun to watch and listen to and hopefully get some insight as to this theme or hobby as a whole. Before I do get into the monetary value, though, because I always like to put you in suspense and save it for last, I'm going to be talking a little bit about Ami orders that I have coming up, as well as some posters I recently just purchased. Now, the posters that I've purchased, I've already paid for, so I will include those in the monetary values at the end of the video. But these items you see on screen right now for Ami orders for the rest of the year, and potentially going into next year, because we all know the infamous Japanese delays that always occur, these have not yet been calculated into the value of what I purchased because I haven't actually paid for the items yet, or the shipping calculations. The monetary values I will provide you later on will include shipping, and it will also include the actual purchasing of the items. I went from website to website, checked all my order history, added the totals together, split it nice and evenly in separate categories to kind of touch base on what the actual number of my account or number of my merchandise in terms of the value is. But we'll get to that at the end of the video. Right now, I'm going to be touching base on Ami. Now, a lot of you are aware that watch my YouTube channel. I've recently got back into figurine collecting and character collecting from Ami. A lot of this video will be repeated of something I've already shown, so you will see some similar items you've already seen in previous videos, but there also will be some new stuff as well. I've been getting some orders now for the month of January, February, March, after the big, huge comic hit spending, but a lot of this is usually just monthly orders now going forward. So, as I mentioned, this will be some repeated items, this will be some new items. Before I do get into any of this, I do want to make you aware that some of this merchandise may be not safe for work, or slightly not safe for work, a little bit lewd in content. If that's not your cup of tea, feel free to skip to the end of the video just to check on the monetary values of my account, or just don't watch the beginning of this video. I always like to provide a wide range of topics when it comes to one video, so this will be a little bit more lengthy, but we'll try to rush through it as quick as possible. I'll only, hopefully, rant for a tiny bit on each item. What I'm going to do is pull up each month's orders, talk about each item I've bought, give a little, I guess you can say, blog or rant about the item, what I think about it, etc. And then we'll kind of get into the monetary value at the end of the video. So let's jump right into it. I don't want to waste anyone's time. And here we go. So as you can see, I have all these months' order as well as one from spring of 2018. And each of these orders are all expected items that are supposed to be released that month. Some of these are already delayed from previous months that they should have been available. But, I mean, as you are well aware of, in Japan, as I mentioned earlier, delays are very common when it comes to video games, otaku merchandise, etc. So let's start with the month of April. I'm going to go through each of these items here and kind of touch base with them. The first one I'm going to talk about is Conquel, Roll 500. Now, for those of you that are not aware, I've been working with a very wonderful individual by the name of Leona. She has a website called Leona's Workshop. She's no longer doing commissions for this year, but she has a Twitter, a website, tutorials on YouTube, all sorts of different social media outlets that talk about painting garage kits. And she's a very famous or well-known garage kit painter. Now, I have had a commission for her for quite some time. It's been about 2 years, and I'm really excited because I bought an S-Mist, which is a company, Roll 500 1/3 scale, and I'm really excited to see what that turns into. So, this is just a smaller version of a character that I really like. I've never played Conquel, as you are aware, but I really like the figures and the characters from them, the designs of the characters, especially the submarine girls, including I-19 or Iku, Roll 500, and all the rest of them. I own a lot of the sub girls because they're probably my favorite of all the ship girls, but I also do like the classics like Amatsukaze, Shimikaze, and so on and so forth. Roll 500 has been a long time coming. I've wanted this for a while. Sadly, QuestQ is the company that has been releasing a lot of these Conquel figures going forward, since Funny Nights has sort of slowed down on its wooden base figures that I really like to buy as a company. But QuestQ is still releasing Conquel figures, and while many of you are aware of my rant with QuestQ, as well as another company I'll talk about a little bit later known as FOTS Japan, FOTS Japan, the ones that are making the Dragon Maid figures, which a lot of people are pretty upset about their quality, myself included, QuestQ is not the greatest company. The reason I don't like them as a company is because they charge a lot of money, and as you are well aware, figurine prices have been increasing, which is why they're offering all these deals of 15%, 20%, 30% off, but really you're still paying an arm and a leg because figurine prices have been going up, and the yen value is increasing, so therefore the dollar is not as strong, especially if you buy from the US. And then you have to account for all the shipping costs as well, because EMS has been increasing their shipping costs also. So, this is the Roll 500 from QuestQ. I really like it. I'm really looking forward to this, but not only is the money value very high of why I don't like QuestQ, but because they say it's a 1/8 scale, but it's more like a 1/10 scale. Their size range is not what they reflect, and that's a little bit annoying, but what can you do? It's a great character, and it's the only figure of this character that actually exists that isn't a garage kit. So Roll 500, looking forward to that one. Moving on from Roll 500, we go into a character from Imotosai, which is Nayuta Kani. I don't know what this is from. I think this is a visual novel. It is a Kotobukiya figure. And strangely enough, Kotobukiya is charging 14,120 on this in yen. A lot of Kotobukiya figures used to be around $90 to $110 in range, usually below 100. But this one's a lot more expensive. Now, I'm not sure if it's because figurine prices have been increasing or if it's because the character itself. I've tried to limit my figurine collecting to not buying characters I think look good as figurines, but I had to cave on this one. It just looked like a good craft. Maybe it was the breasts. I don't know. Whatever the reason, I ended up buying this one. We'll see how it turns out. It's been a while since I've gotten a Kotobukiya figure. Moving on from that one to Loveru, the series that I have the most character goods and figurines from. Many of you are aware of the giant Yami ass poster I have, which, strangely enough, a lot of you ask about that on my YouTube channel and say, hey, can you give me that Yami poster? That's a great poster. So, I don't know what it is. To Loveru is very fan servicey, and I made that word up. And I've never actually seen it or read the manga, but maybe it's just a guilty pleasure that I like all the character designs because you have the more lolly aspect characters and you have the more fully developed, like, over-sexualized characters, and it's super fan servicey, almost like a Senran Kagura to a point, where it's just, oh, here's all these naked girls, and very otaku themed, what you'd expect from an otaku male audience standpoint. Who knows why? I just like the series. In fact, I own most of my figures from To Loveru at this point, probably above Conquel, strangely enough. I'd have to check that again, but we'll see. This is another QuestQ Yuki. This one was delayed, but it's finally coming out, so I'm ready to pay for that when it does finally get released. Moving on from that, we have my favorite character from Idolmaster, Anzu Futaba. Love her to death. I'm finally glad they made a figure, and it is Alter. Very happy about that. Great quality, but very expensive. I'm looking forward to this one as well. Hopefully it gets released this month. Moving on from that, we have two figures from Love Live. Strangely enough, Love Live, the original, is still making figures. Now, I did that Love Live figurine challenge for Sunshine. I think that's getting thrown in the bag. Love Live Sunshine was not as popular. They already have made announcements for the third Love Live coming out. So I don't know what happened with Love Live Sunshine, but I never heard anything about it. It wasn't as popular. Maybe I'm just not looking at the right outlets. But Love Live is still popular enough. In fact, there's a figurine of Nico and Maki, which I'll show at the end of this, coming out in the month of December, actually. So they're still making Love Live figures. It's that big of an influence in the idol industry that it's made it this far. And there's two figures here, a Rin and a Hanayo, that I think a lot of people are really happy with because the Rin figure that came out from Alter wasn't. It was that cat costume that not many people really enjoy. They wanted an actual solid Rin figure with a good costume, and I think this one did it justice, including Hanayo's, which was the sailor uniform, but they wanted one that was more this type of outfit, the one that was like Kotori's outfit, whatever song this was from. I don't follow Love Live, so I apologize if I've offended any fans. I do like the characters from Love Live, so I got the Rin as well as the Hanayo. Sometimes I do cave in. I ended up buying the Maki and Nico figure, for example, coming out of the month of December, but these are two figures that are coming out, and they're actually not as expensive as I thought they would be. So it's always fun. Moving on from there, we have a Strike the Blood figure. Now, this is from Hobby Japan, I believe. Hobby Stock, I'm sorry. This is just one of those really lewd, sort of perverted shows. Maybe that's just, again, a guilty pleasure that I bought it. Who knows? So that one will be coming out as well. I don't really have much to say about that because I don't know anything about the series. Sorry. Moving on from there are two pre-owned items. Now, I can't show these because I bought them as pre-owned, so they're no longer up for sale. The Yui Kotogawa and the Yuki Mikan figures, the bunny versions, which you've seen my Yami version. I'm also working with a seller on my figure collection to try to buy the Momo, because I really do want the Momo still. So Momo and the other four bunnies, those are the first four that were released. Yuki and Momo, and then, I'm sorry, Yami and Momo, and then Yuki and Yui were the next two sets. I love two lover figures. I need all the bunny girls, so hopefully they'll release the Lala and the Nada next. Those are going to be good figures. I'm excited. I can't really showcase those, but if you just look up, 1/4 bunny freeing Yui Kotogawa and Mika and Yuki, you'll be able to find it. In fact, you could just do a search on AmiAmi for To Love Rune, you'll probably find them. I think one of them is still on sale for new, but these are extremely expensive, as you could tell. A lot of points, though. Hey. And finally, we have a wall scroll that was already released back in December. I just wanted to add it to my collection. As many of you are aware, I really like Basho. Hibari is still my favorite character from Senran Kagura, but I do like Basho as well. And I have a lot of her sort of not safe for work content in my room poster-wise. You've seen the giant poster of her and the towel. I also have some other ones from her cards. I have Hibari's cards, and then there's some other stuff I'll talk about later with Basho, including posters I actually just ended up printing of Basho as well. So I just wanted a wall scroll. I have a couple wall scrolls of Basho. This one was kind of cool. It's just from the official art or cards that they put as wall scrolls. So, hey, what the heck. And that is the month of April. Moving on, we're going to move to the month of May. Now, May's figures going back into To Love Root Darkness. I believe this is, yes, the Yami gym uniform one. I still have the Yuki, which I have not even opened, strangely enough. It's been a while since I've opened a lot of figures just due to space. But I've been working on getting some day 12s each paycheck. It's just really annoying to assemble those. So eventually I'll start getting my room with some lighting in those. That's what I should be spending my money on. But because figurine orders never stop, that's the worst part about this hobby. Especially when you get addicted like I just did again. I promised myself, oh, I'll keep my budget under like $300. Nope, of course not. It ended up being way more than I wanted, but we can manage. Sorry for the rant there. This is the Yuki Mikan from Pulcra. Not Yuki, Yami. Apparently a lot of people like Yami. She's got a nice butt. I mean, I got the poster. Who knows what it is? I think just Yami is more of a rare figure, and maybe just people like her a lot. So I ended up getting her. The crafted Pulcra, as you're aware, is not the greatest, but, it's what it is. Here's that Supersonico that was supposed to be released in January with the whole wedding macaroon rings you could buy for like $6,000, and you can get wed to Sonico, and there was that huge otaku weird stuff that was happening. I just cared about the figure. It's a very nice figure, and this is the Sonico version. It's actually not that expensive from Good Smile, so it's a very nice craft. You either hate or don't hate Sonico. If you hate her, I don't blame you. If you do like her, I don't blame you. I mean, she's a very thick, we'll say, character, and it's either hit or miss, really, when it comes to her. A lot of people did like this figure. One of the big benefits of this figure that I really like is the butt. The butt is very well done, especially if you take off the dress. And that's really the thing that sold it for me, because I like ass, as many of you are aware, especially with the life-size ass mouse pad I own, so it doesn't come as a surprise, I suppose. Going on from there, we have some No Game No Life figures. Now, sadly, you'll notice as well, a lot of these figures have pre-orders closed way before they're even released. I've noticed a lot of people have been buying a lot more of these figures, or maybe AmiAmi is limiting how much you can buy in the order because they've added the cancellation feature. Well, they are more lenient on their cancellations. That's why they're not allowing as many orders, so they don't overstock on a budget and then find out that, well, no, none of these people bought these figures. I think they're kind of clamping down on that. Maybe it's a more hidden thing I'm not aware of, but hey, this is an aquamarine figure. They did the Ia figure, the Vocaloid that I ended up buying for a friend of mine, and I have a couple other figures from Aquamarine. I think I got rid of them, though. I don't own them anymore, but hey, I haven't really seen them as a company in a really long time, so I don't really know what to expect out of this one. But I did get the special pre-order bonus. There is another figure I wanted that has pre-orders closed. I'll probably having. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll probably have to end up getting that in the aftermarket. I'll talk about that when I get to it. I think it is the Shui figure, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Anyways, moving on from there, we have going back one page here. I'm sorry, I kind of jumped in a month there. We have the Shui figure. Now, this is not the one. I already pre-ordered this one, but there's another Shui figure that's more of like a naked version where she's sitting on like some cords. This one also has pre-orders closed. This is like the Gibril and the Shiro with the stand and little tiny figurine. So this is a Shui figure. Pretty cool. Those cords are going to be extremely annoying and extremely fragile from Fat Company. We'll see how that goes. Pretty expensive. No Game No Life. Oh, 3% off. What a great deal. Moving on from Shui, we have just some goods here. This is an Idolmaster wall scroll of Anzu Futaba. I love Anzu. Great character. Nothing really to say here from Broccoli. And then another wall scroll from Broccoli as well of Mika Jukasaki. I love Rika, Jukasaki, Anzu, and Mika. My favorite characters, honestly, in the Idolmaster universe. For somebody who has never played or really seen Idolmaster. So, looking forward to those. Those will be kind of nice. Hopefully they get released in that month. And that is for the month of May. Moving on from May, we go into June, my birthday month. June 17th, actually, is my birthday, for those that didn't know. I think it's on my YouTube channel, maybe. This is a Good Smile Company No Game No Life figure of Shiro. And I apologize for the dogs in the background there. So we're going to look forward to that one. We'll see what happens. Not really much to say in this one. It's a lot cheaper than I thought it would be, but pre-orders are already closed, even though it's in the month of June, because, again, I think AmiAmi's clamping down on that. We have an Aokana towel from Mashiro. I still love Aokana, still buy their merchandise when I can. And I'm sorry, this isn't the towel. This is the Neko Cat version. I think I own the... Oh, maybe I didn't end up getting that. No, I do. I own the cat version of Who's Your Face. I just haven't opened it. That's right, I haven't even opened it. Oh my goodness. I own the... Can't think of her name right now. I'm sorry, just completely blanked on me. Anyways, the one chick who eats a lot, the glutton chick. Anyways, here's Mashiro. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. It has a little Jashin. Love that. And this one's from Flair. Not really sure on that company. I got a Chino Cheerleader. I love Chino. It's the most owned Dakimakura I own. All my circle artists draw Chino, so that's what it is. Kadakawa and Shara Ani are the actual companies. I'm just looking at the figure here. This looks like really cheap plastic. We'll see how that one turns out. It looks really, really tiny. So, it says 1/7, but I don't really believe that. Anyways, moving on from there, we have the character from... Oh, this is just a shirt. Whatever show this was up there. Sometimes I just like to buy cosplay shirts, just on occasion, so this is a cool character. Wanted more clothing merchandise. Moving on from June, we go to July. We have an Iowa damaged Conkel figure. And this one Also, pre-orders closed. Wow. For July. Max Factory. Jeez, I didn't even think Max Factory made Conquest figures, so damaged version of Iowa. That'll be interesting. And going on from there, we have the Uzuki from Idolmaster. I like the swimsuit version on her. Just a nice figurine. Not really a fan of the character, don't really know the character, but just looked nice. Nice craft, so I decided to get it. Who knows? Going from there, we have another No Game No Life figure. This one is the 1/12th Tiny Shiro for $33 on Even Exchange. That's pretty nice, I guess. Yeah, a lot of people actually like this, and I'm sure a lot of people ordered it. Still up for pre-order. And then finally, we have this one being the Mashiro towel that I ended up getting. So it's a 120 by 60 centimeter towel. I just like having towels for like display purposes, things like that. Don't ever use half this merchandise, strangely enough, but I like collecting it. Hey. And this figure. All right. This is a hit and miss. I know the artist that did this artwork. This is a combination of Hestia and Sonico. You either like Sonico or hate Sonico. You either like Hestia or love her to death or hate Hestia and want to kill her. This is a guilty pleasure. I don't know why I bought this. It's probably a huge mistake in some people's minds, and that's perfectly okay. I don't even know what Genko is. I've never heard of that brand in my life. I probably could check to see what other figures they do, but I don't want to waste more time with that, so we won't. I don't know what it is. I just said this is a guilty pleasure of mine, so who knows? Maybe it was the back that got me, the back craft. We'll see how it goes, but like I said, hit or miss. You either like it or you absolutely despise it, so I won't blame you if you say that is terrible and a bad decision. Moving on from there, we have one more here for this month. It's the Shiro Bunny. Now, I am really getting into freeing bunnies at this point. I have so many freeing bunnies, and I can't wait to display them all in a case at some point in the future. This Shiro was extremely expensive. I'm surprised she's still up for pre-order. But finally, they made a bunny version of her, and it's a pose that freeing has not ever done yet. Face down, ass up. Of course, they would do that, though. Figures. Literally not to me a pun. That was for the month of August. Moving on, we have the month of September. Here we have a Yami nurse from To Love Ru. Not really much to say about this. Alter, actually. Surprisingly enough. I didn't think Alter would make a figure like that, so I'm quite impressed. Usually they do standing figures. Got the Lala 1/7 from Quest Q, sadly, but it's a good craft. This recently was just announced last week, actually, I believe. I ended up buying it. So, and then finally, for this month of September, we have a Rem figure. Now, you're probably going to say, Ren, you hate RE0. You've never seen it. Why would you buy the Rem figure? Same reason why I buy a Hestia figure. It was really cheap. It was $89, basically, at Even Exchange. And you get like a free 90 points for it. So I was like, well, shoot, man, free points, dude. Sometimes you just buy figures because they're cheap, and who knows, maybe the value will go up when the figure is available for sale. I don't know, but I just ended up buying it because it was cheap. Sometimes you just buy things because it's cheap, and then you regret it later. Who knows? Moving on from that, we have the month of September, and here is finally, after so long, the wedding dress version of the Lala from Max Factory. I own all the wedding dress girls at this point so far, and then waiting for the Lala. They still haven't announced Yui or Yami. And I don't even know if they ever are going to because this has been going on for a long time. I'm pretty sure this Momo was released in like 2000, I want to say 15 or 14. It's been 3 years it's taken them to make this series, and they're still not done. I think they've abandoned the series, but we'll find out, I guess. Who knows? Moving on from there, we have one more here. This is a FOTS Japan figure. Now, a lot of people were very upset about FOTS Japan, FOTS Japan, this company. I decided to take a chance on this one because a lot of people liked it, and it's a 1/5. I want to see what their 1/5s are like. Their packaging is weird, to say the least, but whatever. The Yuki Mikon figure I got is extremely tiny for what I paid. It's very cheap now because when it goes on aftermarket, it's not expensive because not many people like the figure. The company was new, and they were doing figures, and it looked cool, but their stands are crap. And I broke my Yuki's leg, and then I had to glue it, and it was really annoying. I'm not a fan of the company, but I'm willing to give them one more shot. The Maid Dragon series was really pissing off a lot of people because the one main character didn't have a tail. It was just swimsuit versions of them being lewd, and it was like, what's the point of this? There's no justice to these characters. So I can understand kind of both sides. Some people are just like, it's got boobs, it's fine. Some people say, nope, my character has to be modeled in the way it was supposed to be modeled. So I can see the sort of hate for the company, but we'll see how this one turns out. I'll give it one more shot. And finally, then moving on to the month of November, almost finished here, we have another RE0 figure. Now, I like Ram, and I should buy Ram's bunny version. I think it's already out, or coming out this month. When it does go into aftermarket, if it goes a little bit cheaper, I find some figurine sales from other owners on my figure collection. I'll probably buy it from them, but I'll probably end up buying the Rem as well at some point. I haven't done it. I was getting the Rem, but then that was part of the figurine collecting order that I couldn't buy because I couldn't afford it at the time, or I canceled my orders. Just for display purposes is the only reason I get the Rem. I put her right next to her for the Ram just because it looked cool next to each other in the case. But we'll see. That's from Fat Company again. Fat usually makes good figures. I have Hamikaze. Gotta buy more Concols. Not a fan of the, again, Fat Company though, stand or poles on a lot of these. They're not very fun, but whatever. You get by it. And then finally we have the Kuro from Prisma Ilia. Now, there is a Mew Edelfist, or whatever her last name is, coming out. The lingerie or underwear versions of them. I have the ones from Ami Kuni. There's one coming out from Mew. It's supposed to be released in August, and it comes with a stand where you can put all three girls together. Those figurines are extremely expensive. They're like $300 on the aftermarket for both characters. And I'm really excited to get her. It's supposed to be released in August, and I can order it on Yahoo Auction. But I'm not really a fan of paying that much money right now until the actual figure's been released and then going on Yahoo Auction to buy it, which is where I'll probably have to buy it because it's only at a certain time you can order it. But because I only trust a certain number of websites, I usually end up waiting a little bit longer. If I did my research, I probably could figure out how to use those websites, but there's only so much you can use and only so much I really want to do. This is a Kuro, though. It's from Easy 8. They did an Ilia version of the racing version. This is the Kuro version, so we'll see how that turns out. And that is for the month of November. One final month here, two figures. In December, we have the Nico and Maki version I was talking about, the Valentine's very lesbian-toned figurine, as you could tell. A lot of people liked it. It is from Alter. Can't resist an Alter Love Life figure. It's always very good. And then finally, we have a Full Metal Damon figure. And I don't really know what this is from, except for that show right there and who this character is. It just looked like a nice craft. I think it was the ass that kind of got me. And just the body shape. Who knows? It was a nice little figure. So this is one of those ideas where I say, oh, I'll buy a figure just because it looks nice, even though I don't know what the character is. Whatever. Kind of looks like a... Who's her face? Shinobu. In a way. Somewhat. And that is for the month of December. Finally, one last order here. We have the 1/2 scale of Kirino Kosuka sometime in spring, it says. I bought this figure. You've seen an unboxing of it when I was in Japan, and then I sold the figure to somebody, and then it came out for re-release, and I rebought it again because I regretted selling it. I'm glad I didn't end up buying it in the aftermarket because it was extremely expensive. It still is a lot more expensive than what I paid for it back then, but I think I paid like 30,000 yen at the time, so it's a lot more expensive. But hey, you know what? I've always wanted another half scale. This is its own separate order just due to the size and the weight of the figurine itself, and who knows? Maybe they will release more half scales after this. They canceled the Hestia one I kind of wanted because I wanted more larger scales, but whatever. And so we'll see when that one comes out. A lot of points, though. 427, baby. Woo! All right, and that is all the orders. So there is the next thing I'm going to show here, which will include posters I ended up buying, and I've already paid for these. They're on their way. They should arrive sometime, I'd say, by next week or by the end of the week. And there are a couple posters here. This one is from Grozen Panzer, and then the next one as well, which you've seen as a thumbnail on my video. Obviously, these are a lot larger. I enlarged them using Waifu 2 times. And those are two ones, and then I got this one. This is an original character for the Toradora comics on the Akihabara strip. They do a lot of these original characters that are sort of, perverted or not safe for work in a way. I just like the character design. I like this artist as well. This one is from another artist I enjoy from Toho, and then the same artist as that previous one, a more recent work. This was like 5 years old, and this is more recent, so you can tell sort of the difference between the art style. It's similar, but it's changed over time. And then a couple other posters, the Basho card, which I want for my room, and then also one more Basho as well. And those are all the posters that are on their way as well. Those should arrive sometime by next week. Not much to say about those, just wanted a quick touch base on them. Moving on from that, now let's talk about the value of my account. So this is the part that some of you have been waiting for. If you've skipped ahead to this section of the video, congratulations. You missed some fun stuff, but you're about to now find out the monetary value of my account. Now, this monetary amount I'm about to quote to you is the exact amount of all my merchandise. The only thing that is not exact is the orders I received from Japan and the shipping it took me to send the orders back to Japan. And I'll talk about that in a moment. Every other website I've used, which has a receipt, etc., I have values for. It also, though, will not include any items I've sold because some of these items I no longer have in my collection when I ended up buying them. In addition, it also will not include any items I've bought from My Figure database collectors, from actual personal people that, host PayPal sales, for example. So it's very close and accurate, but it's not 100% accurate. I will put down actual values of order history from accounts, which will be exact. But in terms of the Japan orders and shipping from Japan, when I bought all the figurines there was like 50 I bought when I was there, maybe less, 40 or 50. And also, it won't include the actual, as I mentioned, sales that I ended up selling to other individuals because I got money back and then I spend that money anyways. So overall, this isn't 100% accurate, obviously, but it is very close. So let's start. The first value we will talk about is ImageKind. ImageKind is the website I use for my posters, and that will include the posters I just showed you. ImageKind's value that they have on all their merchandise is $11,369.81. And I'm sorry, that is not correct. That is actually a different website. So why not? We'll change it. That is Buy. Buy is a website I use for my proxy for Yahoo Auctions. So this includes all the Comiket purchases I've had. It also includes all the items I bought that are more rare, that aren't available on Mandarake and other websites. $11,369.81. ImageKind, and I meant to do that first, I'm sorry about that. ImageKind's value is $2,284.62. Those are all the posters I've owned. That's a lot for a lot of posters. I think there has to be 50 at this point. Less, maybe 40-ish, but there's a lot. And then during a time I was not doing so well and thought eBay was a great website to use, I did buy some purchases from eBay. I've learned from certain things. But eBay does have a couple purchases. We're valued at $5,050.44 that I bought from eBay. Sometimes you can find the items on eBay and you just can't find them elsewhere. Moving on from there, we have Mandarake. And Mandarake's purchases total looks like $2,552.20, 20 cents. Solaris Japan, which is a website I use when AmiAmi doesn't have a lot of sales. Only bought a few items from there just because they were readily available. $722.10. And then finally, the biggest website in them all, AmiAmi. A whopping value of 15, if I can draw a dollar sign, $15,133.40. That does not include the orders I just showed you today. Finally, if we count all the figurines I bought in Japan, what I did was I went back and counted out all my figurines, since I remembered which ones I shipped back from Japan that I didn't buy here, looked at their market value on My Figure collection, and then essentially, because I got them for cheaper and some of them were used, I just took an average of the number. I said, okay, as even exchange, 100 yen to $1, which is what this is valued off. I said, okay, what's the actual value of the item? So I rounded it to a nice even number, and it ended up being a total of $3,000. And then in terms of shipping as well, to ship everything back, looked back at all my old card purchases. That was approximately, and I rounded this as well, $1,200. For a grand total of my entire collection of what my otaku merchandise is all worth, give or take, plus or minus because of sales with like Japanese items, in addition to the exchange rate always changing. So these are even exchange rates, so obviously it's different. But the closest I can come, plus or minus, I'd say about 5,000, if anything, due to exchange. You're looking at a grand total of $41,312.57. That is the value of my merchandise. It's over 5 to 6 years. I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. I really enjoy this hobby. It is fun. This is a YouTube channel that's more of a niche group, but I think over time, there's a lot of videos I have ideas for, and I want to do. It's just more of a slower down hobby at this point, and it's fun. It's fun to collect. It is fun, the excitement of opening something up, buying an item, and showcasing that to other individuals. It is a hobby, though. Like any hobby, it's pretty much a waste of money, but hey, that's what hobbies are for, to enjoy and expand on, correct? Anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. It is a little longer, but hopefully you enjoyed it. I thought it would be exciting, and of course, as always, we will catch you in the next video that I release in the coming future. Thank you guys for your support. Feel free to leave any comments in the comments section. I do like reading them, even though I may not always respond, and we will talk to you later. Peace out.